Your future plans, have you any plans at all to be a leader of the Nigerian state, politically?
That is too personal. I don't know. I didn't answer it.
Do you intend to stay in the army?
Of course I intend to. I've got 11 more years to do.
At the moment you have no political
ambition or inhibition now.
You're known as the Black Scorpion. Do you object to this?
It's just an ordinary name. My name is Benjamin Adekunle. That's all I know.
This is the story of Benjamin Adekunle, infamously known as the Black Scorpion, a Nigerian Army brigadier and arguably one of the most dreaded officers to ever wear the Nigerian Army uniform. His exploits during the Civil War, coupled with his larger-than-life persona, earned him the moniker Black Scorpion, a name that still invokes unpleasant memories in some quarters till this day. To many Nigerians exposed to writings on the Nigerian Civil War, Brigadier Benjamin Adekunle is the nation's equivalent of Hannibal, the Carthaginian military genius. On the lighter note, I'd like to thank all 50,000 of you, my subscribers, the newbies, the regulars. I thank you all. And before you get into today's video, just take a second, like the video, share, subscribe, drop us a comment, let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video. Benjamin Adesanya Maja Adekunle was born 26th June 1936. His father was a native of Ogbomoso, while his mother was of the Bachama ethnicity. He underwent secondary education at the Government College Okene, now known as Abdulaziz Atta Memorial College Okene in present-day Kogi State. He enlisted in the Nigerian Army in 1958, shortly after completing his school certificate examinations. He passed the Army Selection Examinations and thereafter was dispatched to the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in the United Kingdom, the British Army's Initial Officer Entry Academy. He was commissioned second lieutenant on December 15, 1960. As a platoon commander, he served in Kasai Province of Congo with the 1st Battalion, Queen's Own Nigeria Regiment during the first ONUC UN Peacekeeping Tour of Duty. In 1962, Lieutenant Adekunle became aide-de-camp to the Governor of the Eastern Region, Sir Akanu Ibiam. The following year, as a captain, he was posted back to the Congo as staff captain to the Nigerian Brigade headquarters at Lulleberg, under Brigadier Babafemi Ogundipe. In 1964, Major Adekunle attended the Defence Service Staff College at Wellington in India. When he returned, he was briefly appointed Adjutant General at the Army Headquarters in May 1965 to replace Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Gowon, who was proceeding on a course outside the country. However, he later handed over the position to Lieutenant Colonel James Palm and was posted back to his old battalion in Enugu as a company commander. Adekunle later assumed command of the Lagos garrison as a substantive lieutenant colonel when the Nigerian Army War erupted in July 1967. Adekunle was tasked to lead elements which included 2 new battalions, 7th and 8th, to conduct the historic seaborne assault on Bonny in the Bight of Benin on 26 July 1968. This happened after the federal government gained confidence of most southwestern ethnic groups as a direct result of Biafran push to Midwest states and probe into Western region. Adekunle was promoted to colonel after the Bonny landing. The 6th and 8th battalions of Lagos Garrison subsequently took part in operations to liberate the Midwest following the Biafran invasion of August 1967. The 7th stayed behind to hold Bonny. Because Major Jallo's unit was seconded to Lieutenant Colonel Murtala Mohammed's 2nd Division, Adekunle was left with only the 8th Battalion at Escravos. He therefore protested to Army Headquarters and got the Lagos Garrison upgraded to brigade status through the creation of the 31st and 32nd Battalions under Majors Aliu and Haman respectively.
I believe many people in Europe are getting it's just gone and gone forever.
This formation, combined with elements of the Lagos Garrison along the eastern seaboard, was officially designated the 3rd Infantry Division. However, Colonel Adekunle did not think the name 3rd Infantry Division was sensational enough nor did it project the nature of the unique terrain in which his men had to fight. Therefore, without formal approval from Army HQ, he renamed it 3 Marine Commando. The Black Scorpion, as he came to be known, was easily the most controversial, celebrated, and mythologized figure in the war of attrition that laid the foundation for Nigeria's contemporary crisis and threw a wedge into the national fabric. Benjamin Adekunle was promoted to Brigadier in 1972. After the war, Adekunle was put in charge of decongesting the Lagos port that was having a chronic problem of clearing imported goods. He held this position until being compulsorily retired on 20th August 1974. He attributed his problems during and after the war to his rivals in the army. In various interviews, he said there was always a rumor of coup linked to him until the army authority felt the concern to do something about it. He had large followings in both the army and public at large and was the most popular military commander during the war, apart from Obasanjo, who succeeded him and brought the war to an end with the same 3rd Marine Commando. Adekunle led the 3rd Marine Commando Division with such great panache and determination that the foreign media, in looking for a human angle on the Biafran War, found him a ready source of news.
Colonel Adekunle has been ordered to leave the Ivory Coast. Was this because of pressure from the Nigerian government?
Nigerian government doesn't pressurize anyone. We're only used to persuasive way of doing things. I don't think the government pressurized Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is an independent country in her own rights, and we do comply with the charter of the OAU.
Would you like to see Adekunle back in Nigeria?
I must tell you one thing, that Nigeria observes very much the fundamental human rights. If he wants to come under that, he's welcome. I don't think Nigerian government will ever object to him coming. And I do sincerely say so.
Would he face charges if he did return to Nigeria?
We shall leave that to time. No one has been charged so far, to my knowledge.
This is an excerpt from Mark Silion's book, Oil, Politics and Violence, about the Black Scorpion. After some time, killing Igbos became a status symbol for some northern soldiers. 2 incidents involving the 1st and 5th battalions illustrate this. These 2 battalions were the only 2 of the 5 army battalions not to have participated in the overthrow of Aguiyi-Ironsi and other senior Igbo officers. Both battalions had been restrained from joining the mutiny by the precipitate action of their commanders. This created a perception within the northern troops in both battalions that their prestige had been degraded in comparison with their mutinous colleagues elsewhere in the 2nd, 3rd and 4th battalions, which had all been active participants in overthrowing Aguiyi-Ironsi. The 1st and 5th battalions' lack of involvement meant that northern soldiers in both units were eager for an opportunity to prove to their northern colleagues elsewhere that they too had played their parts. Both units were urged by their colleagues in other units to contribute their own quota to the Igbo death toll. The first illustrative example involved the 1st Battalion. Then Major Benjamin Adekunle, the famed Black Scorpion, was the deputy commander of the 1st Battalion in Enugu. When a decision was made to repatriate army officers to their region of origins, Adekunle and northern soldiers in his units were to leave Enugu and head firstly to Kaduna, then to Lagos. Simultaneously, a group of surviving Igbo soldiers that had been detained in Kaduna prison for their own safety were to be repatriated to Enugu via Lagos. When they were released for transportation by train to Enugu, Adekunle promised them safe passage to Lagos, from where they could then proceed to Enugu. The northern soldiers in Adekunle's battalion and the Igbo soldiers were placed on the same train. Some northern soldiers, having long been frustrated at their inability to kill Igbos thus far, finally got their opportunity. They descended upon the Igbo soldiers, killed them and threw their bodies off the train. For promising safe passage to the Igbo soldiers, Adekunle too was attacked, but was saved by the intervention of Captain Gibson Jallo. Although his father was a Yoruba from Ogbomosho, Adekunle's mother was like Jallo from the Bachama ethnic group of the northern region. In the mayhem of the time, such tenuous links could determine life and death. Nigerians often speak of detribalized Nigerians Adekunle must be a top candidate for that title. His father is from the Western region, his mother from the Northern region, and his first wife from the Eastern region.
You know that the Black Scorpion. Do you object to this?
It's just an ordinary name. My name is Benjamin Adekunle. That's all I do.